Welcome to the Business Leadership Series, where we engage with leaders who are making an impact on their worlds and who want to share their knowledge and experience for your personal and professional growth. The following interview is designed to inspire you to become the best leader you can be. Your host, Derek Champagne, is the founder and CEO of The Artist Evolution, a full-service agency building successful brands, marketing tools, and campaigns, and also the author of the best-selling book, Don't Buy a Duck. And now, let's begin today's Leadership Series interview.
Welcome to the Business Leadership Series, where our goal is to inspire you to become the best leader that you can be. I've got a great guest today. I've got Fleetwood Hicks. He is a president and founder of Villi Custom. You have seen him probably on Shark Tank. He's a partner with Mark Cuban and Barbara Cochran, and he has sold product in all 50 states. He's got a really cool product. Fleetwood, welcome to the program today.
Thank you, Derek. Thanks for having me. It's great to be on, and I'm excited.
Before we had this show a few years ago, I remember watching Shark Tank, and I promise you we won't stay on Shark Tank the whole time, but that's how I first got introduced to your product. And at the time, sitting with my wife watching the show, I said, man, I'd really love to interview that guy. What a cool product. You were 100 Most Brilliant Business Ideas in Entrepreneur magazine in 2010, featured in CNN Success, and then you've got all these celebrities riding around on your bikes too. That must be pretty cool.
Wow, man, you know a lot about me. That's great. No, it is. It's really exciting to first of all, to have been on Shark Tank and have Mark and Barbara on board, which they're fantastic. And yeah, we have had a lot of good things happen with celebrities and stuff, and we got more things like that in the works. So it's always exciting.
So cool. So tell me a little bit about your journey. Let's take a step back a little bit before some of these other things happened. Give us kind of a backstory about what got you into what you're doing today. How did it all start?
Well, they always say that you got to do what you love, and it took me a long time to figure that out. But straight out of college, I basically was in real estate, kind of realized that wasn't my thing. I did well, I just didn't enjoy it. So for the next 20 years, I really just I worked on my own businesses. I had apparel companies and bottled water companies and custom corporate clothing companies and stuff like that. And what finally happened, I had a lot of success in some of my business, and I had some very big failures as well, shut a lot of companies down and stuff along the way. But what finally happened was I was launching a new apparel line. I was out in California, and I was everything was hinging on this one big deal I was working on with a big box retailer, and I ended up not getting I didn't get the deal. So what happened was, I took the day off. I went to Venice Beach. I jumped on a rented cruiser bicycle. I thought that'd be the best way to, sort of see the area.
Yeah.
And ordered the bike for an hour. Came back 6 hours later, and I was kind of hooked on the bikes. So came back to Dallas. I bought me a cruiser bike. It was one of the first things I did. Just kind of kept riding it, bought a couple more, and next thing I know, I had about 6 cruiser bikes, and I was organizing these little rides with my friends. And then from there, my girlfriend said, you should open up a cruiser bike shop. And I was like, So I just did it, not anticipating money or anything. I just said, I'm just going to do something really for fun this time.
Right.
And what started out as my bike shop, it just kept going, and the creative type of person that I am, I ended up realizing that I could probably design cruiser bikes better than the ones I was buying. I was buying another brand, and but it took me about a year, and then I had to figure out a better way to sell them because I didn't really like the retail store. So that's when we created the website where you could design your own bike, and then that's how it all happened.
I love your brand. It's a lifestyle brand that's just
Thanks, man.
Very cool. But how long did it take you? I love hearing that you were an entrepreneur already. I mean, those of us that are entrepreneurs, and several of our listeners are, we've under our belt have some failures and some successes. And so those listening might be in one of those two modes right now. But when did you realize I'm onto something here that's really scratching this entrepreneurial itch, and I think I'm onto something big?
Yeah, well, the first thing I did, Derek, and I want to say to the listeners, anytime that you do something where you're combining something that doesn't really seem like it goes together, I find that it usually works out. So for me, opening up a beach cruiser bike boutique in Dallas, Texas, we don't have a beach within 5-6 hours of here. So that was the first thing. So I got noticed really quick because the only bikes that we were selling was cruiser bikes, and we don't really have a beach here. So I started getting a lot of notoriety, but when I really knew that we had something good was when we started designing our own bikes. And what I did differently than what the other brands out there do is I started putting together combinations of colors that people don't normally do, because normally when you see a bike, it's like solid red with like black tires and silver rims or whatever. So we started mixing and matching and taking like green fenders, putting them on a blue bike, and then like an orange chain guard. And it sounds kind of weird, but it got people's attention real quick. So once I started noticing that people were like, wow, what kind of bike is this, and I really like how these look, that's when I realized we had something good, and I had to find a better way to get it out there instead of just in the shop. You know what I mean?
Right. So tell me about scale of a brand like this. You don't have to give me all the details, but what did you hit any challenges that you weren't expecting as far as technology or customization for your website? And what did you have to overcome that both of those? what did you have to overcome that you either weren't expecting or was kind of a monster that you might be able to give us some light on how you overcame it?
Yeah, I think the big thing for us, and I think for anyone, is like you can have a great idea, a great product, but you got to find a way to sell it, So for me, it was switching from having a little, beach bike boutique to having an online store where I could sell worldwide. How am I going to get the word out? How I know I got a great product, but how are people going to know about my product? And I mean, here we are 6 years later, Derek, we're still working on that all the time, but it's really been, finding a way to sell the bikes also with my product, because we have so many parts and so much customization. It was the inventory, the actual always being able to have those parts ready and being able to get the bikes ready in time, because people don't mind waiting 3 weeks for a custom bike, but you start getting a lot longer than that, and people don't want to wait. They just want to go out and buy it. So we've had a lot of challenges, but in innovation, you're always going to have that.
So yeah, and that's a great point, is consumers will wait for something custom, but we're very impatient in general, and we'll only wait so long even for something custom.
Yeah, and I want to say one other thing about that. This is what I've learned, which is really funny, but if you're making a custom product, people actually appreciate the fact that they have to wait, as long as it's not beyond a certain point. Because there's a couple times in the early days where we'd be really slow, and like we'd get a bike out within like a day or two, and I would literally get calls from the people kind of complaining like, how on earth did you custom make this bike so fast? They almost didn't believe us, So we've really found that, that perfect time slot is kind of like 2 to 3 weeks, and that's about how long it takes anyway. So.
Okay. And so are you in retail shops as well?
No, we sell direct to the consumer to try to, give that customization, which costs more, to try to pass that savings along. And we also sell our bikes, which is an incredible part of our business. We do a lot of corporate fleets of bikes for huge companies. So, that we sell also direct to them, or sometimes we sell through, they'll have like advertising reps or, marketing companies, promotional companies that work through them. So, but primarily, we do everything direct.
I saw a note on you where it said you didn't know what Shark Tank was when you got the call. I got a kick out of that. Because the word entrepreneur is so popular right now, and it wasn't a long time ago, but it's just such a big buzzword now, especially with shows like that, which I love, with all the venture capitalists and the investors and things like that. There's just a lot of opportunity. Kickstarter, there's so many ways for funding to be achieved more quickly, and to achieve market penetration more quickly, and so many more ways to distribute with online and digital and social media options. But I thought that was really cool that you had no idea what Shark Tank was when you got the call, and then you got 2 rock star partners out of it. So any highlights that stand out to you about your experience when those around you found out you were doing the show, or when you got on there, did you start to realize that it could, what a big deal it could be for helping propel your brand?
Yeah, what was funny was, because a lot of times you try out for the show, but we actually we got a call because they had seen an article that was written about our company, And yeah, when the guy called me up, I literally at first thought it was something to do with like sharks in a tank, and I was gonna, like fend them off with like, I don't know. But long story short, once I checked it out and kind of looked at it, it's funny because I didn't take it that seriously at all until right before I went on the show. I said, I better practice a little bit. So I practiced. I got a few of my friends and smart people, and I said, hey, I want you guys to like slice and dice me. And I videoed it, and when I videoed it, it was absolutely the most embarrassing performance ever. Thank God I did that, because it allowed me to kind of see what I was saying and how I looked and everything like that. And I went back and really got serious about it, and that's what saved me on the show, because I was pretty prepared. Yeah, I recommend anybody going on Shark Tank. People call me all the time who are going on there, I think just because I've been on the show, and I think they do that with a lot of contestants. But I always tell people, man, you better video yourself and you better practice a lot.
Wow. So tell me about, I know you've got Golden State Warriors, Klay Thompson, you've had Sean Payton, head coach of the New Orleans Saints, buy some bikes. Tell me about Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh, that was a great one. We actually, they had been after us for a couple of years to give our bikes away. But when you go on the Ellen show, you have to give away bikes to your product to every single person in the audience. That's part of the deal. So we packaged it together. We did a deal with Folgers, and Folgers comped all the cost of our bikes, so we were able to do that. And Ellen was great. She allowed our bikes to be the first and only product that she's ever autographed. So we had her signature on all of our bikes, and that was really cool. We've had Julianne Hough, who's a big celebrity with Dancing with the Stars, and we're doing Jamie Foxx right now.
Wow.
Trying to think. We're also doing the Dallas Cowboys bikes, which is huge.
That's cool.
So. Yeah, so as time goes by, we're getting more and more stuff like that.
That's so cool. I love it. I'm really happy for you guys. Love the vibe of your. Tell me about the dog.
Oh man, well we're now on Billy number 3, but my first Billy was the start of it all.
Yeah.
We lost him to he got cancer, and then my second dog, we had another health issue with him, so we're on number 3. But my dog comes to work every day with us. He's definitely keeping an eye on things. He keeps everybody in a good state of mind around here, and he gets to do a lot of like TV stuff and magazine shoots, and he's a big part of it. So people really love the dog. Being a dog brand, you just attract so many animal people, which I think are the best people in the world.
Right.
So we got a great customer base because of the dog.
So what are some of the biggest lessons that you've learned as far as in your growth, as far as taking a brand like this and the journey you've been on? For entrepreneurs or for those out there listening who have recently started a business that's their passion, what advice comes to mind for you that you might share with us?
I think the top 3 for me are, you got to love what you're doing, and I said that earlier. But I mean, if you don't, there's no way you're gonna stick with it and get through all the hurdles. So number 1, you better love what you're doing. Number 2, before you put too much time and effort into it, you better figure out how you're going to sell it. Not is it good or do I like it or people like it, but how exactly am I going to sell this product? And then number 3, got to be very resourceful, especially if you're a startup, especially if you're using your own money or whatnot. You've got to be smart. You cannot waste money on the things that we like to do, fancy offices and stuff like that. So I literally for the first year and a half, I really didn't take a salary or anything like that. So I'm a big believer in trading when you can. We trade our bikes all the time for different things that we need, and we save a lot of money that way. So that's my 3 tips right there. Love what you're doing, be resourceful, and what was the other one?
Know how you're going to sell it. Know
how you're going to sell it. I think that's, all of those 3 in combination, I think, are the keys to success.
So how do you find balance in life between running a successful company and then also that question is a struggle sometimes for entrepreneurs?
It really is. What I've been able to do, Derek, and it's taken me being an entrepreneur for such a long time. I used to be the guy that was working 80 hours a week, and I never did anything fun. And, I was really into that whole career end of it. But as I've gotten a little bit more seasoned, I've really learned that if you're going to grow the company, you got to be willing to delegate the things, especially the things that either A, I'm not good at, or I don't like doing. So you got to hire good people. You got to be willing to let go and trust those people. And I think that's another key. Getting good people. There's this real smart guy that I always consult with, and when I was starting out, he was saying, the most important thing you can do once you got your idea up and going and funded and everything like that, you can hire a person who does the work of half of a normal person. You can hire a person who does the work of a normal person, or you can hire the person that does the work of 2 or 3 people. And if you can hire that person that does 2 or 3 people's work, you can have, a lot more profitable company. So everything that we do, we all bust ass. We do 2 or 3 people's jobs, but we have fun doing it, and it's key to get people like that. You have to go through a lot of people to get the right ones. If they're not a superstar, get rid of them, move on, replace them. And I've in 5 years, we've probably replaced 30 different people here at Billy Custom. And, really just the last, I'd say, year and a half, we've really got like a great team, everybody just on point,
Wow. You've got a bunch of rock stars now.
Yeah, we do. So don't try to pull anybody away from us. We're lucky.
So how do you maintain focus with all the entrepreneurs we have? There's so many ideas run all the time, some good, some bad. Yeah. How do you maintain focus on what your core is?
Yeah. Number one, everything that we do, because everybody's pitching you ideas, what about this? What about that? We keep very diligent, and our focus on, is it going to make us money? What is the ROI in doing this? Because we've made so many mistakes and wasted so much money along the way trying different things.
Right.
So we really focus on, okay, what's the payback on this deal? If the payback isn't obvious, it's not there, and we don't see it, I'm sorry, we're moving on to the next thing. But beyond that, our focus at Billy Customs, make super quality, very unique custom cruiser bikes, and that's it. That's why we don't go into mountain bikes or road bikes or 3-wheelers. People are always trying to get us to do that, and I'm always like, no, this is what we do. We do, so, your question is my answer. We focus on really what we love, which is the cruiser bikes.
That's great. That's a great focus to keep from getting distracted. So what are you most passionate about?
For me, I'm most passionate about making people happy, making people have fun. And, I'm always saying this, it's like our style of bike, it's not for cyclists. Cyclists is only about 8% of the population, the guys that, get the fancy shoes and the helmet and all the gear and the $10,000 bike, whereas our bikes is for general queue public, Betty and Joe, jump on the bikes, go slow, pull over, have a margarita, drive around, see the sights and sounds of wherever you are, and really just kick back, have fun. The world, it's so fast-paced now with technology and everything coming at us. So for me, it's getting on that bike and just kicking back and having fun, and that's what I'm passionate about, and that's what everyone up here is passionate about that works here.
That's awesome. So you've got so many exciting things coming up, but is there anything else you've yet to accomplish that's on your bucket list, your wish list, that you would want to clear some time for and do?
I think, for company-wise, we really, we want to get superstars helping us, because these influencers today is really what can take your bike brand, or your lifestyle brand to a whole nother level. And so we want to become a little bit more of a lifestyle brand, not just bikes. And hopefully some of these big names that we're really trying to get on board with us is going to help us. So I would say that becoming a little bit more of a lifestyle brand, selling apparel, soft goods, and other things, that's one of our big goals. So I'd say that me as a person, just travel more and enjoy seeing things I haven't seen before.
So just a couple final questions. You've got our listeners out there. Maybe they're in transition. Maybe they're in a C-level job, or they're in a cubicle, or maybe they've just launched on their own. What do you want to tell them about the satisfaction in life and following that entrepreneurial itch that they may be having?
Sometimes, it's really hard, especially if you've got a lot of responsibilities and, you got to make X number of dollars and whatnot. But I think anybody, we live in such a great country to where it doesn't matter, if you've got a good idea and you're willing to put in the hard work, I believe that anybody can do it. I'm a very average person. I mean, it's not like I made good grades and I wasn't really good at anything, but I've always thought of ideas that I think are cool or that I like, and I've been able to put it together. So if I could do it, pretty much anybody can. I really believe that, and I talk about that all the time with people. It's like, if you've got something that you're really wanting to do, you got to go for it. You only live once, right?
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to share with us today?
Man, I would just say exactly what you were just talking about. If you got a great idea, just go for it. Find a way. If you've got a good idea, you can sell it. You know what I'm saying? You can get the people on board with you. If you don't have the money, or if you don't have the know-how to do it, but you got a great idea, you could sell it to people out there. People got to don't be shy about it. Just go for it. Yeah,
and there's so many resources now, as we talked about earlier, from Kickstarter and other campaigns, and if you've got a good idea, there's like you said, there's people that will be interested in it, and there are resources out there to launch it.
Absolutely, man. You can sell anything if you believe in it hard enough. So,
thanks for being our guest today.
Oh, for sure,
I want to
man.
encourage your listeners, go to VillyCustoms.com. I promise you, if you go there, you're going to find a bike that you want. You're going to want to start building yours. I've seen 3 or 4 that I love already. I pull up the website. It says, "Where's yours?" I love that. And I see a Coca-Cola bike here too. That's pretty cool.
There you go. Hey, and also I want to say that's Villy with a V as in victory. And if they footnote your show, Derek, we can score 20% off on any custom bikes. Wow. I want to offer that to everybody listening. So
Thank you so much. That's very generous of you. I really appreciate that.
Hey, 20%. That's our friends and family. So just mention this, email us, and we'll take good care of them.
Awesome. Villy Customs, that's VILLY Customs.com. Fleetwood Hicks, man, thank you again for taking your time. Inspiration to talk with you, and look forward to seeing the next cool things that you're going to do.
Thank you so much, Derek. Hey, you got a great show. I appreciate the time and a lot of great questions, and I hope you guys got something out of this.
Awesome.
Thank
you, bud. We'll talk to you later.
You've been listening to the Business Leadership Series, where we engage with leaders who are making an impact on their worlds and who want to share their knowledge and experience for your personal and professional growth. This interview was designed to inspire you to become the best leader you can be. Take a 5-minute complimentary marketing assessment for your business. Whether you're a startup or an established brand looking for more quality customers for your business, this confidential assessment will help you identify the next logical steps for appropriate marketing tools, strategy, and development for making sure your branding and marketing campaign is a success. Visit AssessMyMarketing.com today. That's AssessMyMarketing.com.